Hello everyone, my name is Breakmaker. I'm the creator of the pack Realistic VR Doors on the Unreal Engine Marketplace, and I'm here to give you a brief tutorial on the 3 steps you need to take to migrate the functionality of Realistic VR Doors to the project of your choosing in Unreal Engine 4. So chances are that when you purchase this pack that you already have a project going on. You're not starting from scratch. So at some point you will want to migrate the assets, the various classes, and essentially the inputs from this project to the other. So the first question that you might ask, why do we need to do this in the first place? Why couldn't this be just added to the project directly? And the answer is really simple. It's a design choice. It's done this way by, there are some standards at the Unreal Engine Marketplace. Essentially, there are 2 ways to distribute a pack. One of them is, I would say the majority of the packs are add to project. So you can add them directly because they're 3D models or things that do not rely on many dependencies. And there are complete projects where you first need to install the project into a separate project, and then you can open it, test it, and then migrate it. And Realistic VR Doors is the latter. And that's done because an interaction system like this is relying on inputs, for instance, and those are stored in the project settings in an INI file. If you were just to quickly import a lot of different assets from the marketplace that that rely on INI settings to your project, you would easily find yourself in a situation where something important gets overwritten, and it's just a destructive change, and it's not a good practice. So therefore, this complete project distribution method has been created. So having said that, doing all the things needed is very easy, very simple, and we will go through them. Actually, this is also described in the documentation that you can find on the product page, the steps, but it's more visual to go through this way. So let's dive right into it. I already created a project, so if you go to the launcher and you find Realistic VR Doors, you can create a complete project, and if you open it up, it will look like this. And I also created another project as a test. Basically, this is the project where I want to migrate to. I also called it Target Project, and yeah, I placed it in here. But it's a good idea to have both projects open, but you can place it on another display. Let me just arrange it so we can see a little bit better. So the first step, of course, is to migrate the assets. If you open it up, there are essentially 2 folders. Let me just turn my mobile phone silent. There are 2 folders on purpose. If you just need the core assets, you can just migrate this folder. You don't need the other one. It's a scene map that contains textures and models, and it takes a lot of space up. You don't need this necessarily into your project. So you just right click and migrate, and you'll see that none of it is linked from the other folder, so you can just cleanly migrate this out. And let's just click OK, and then you're going to look for your the content folder of the other project, and then select it. My OS is in German, but don't be worried about that. Okay, so as you can see, it's already appeared here. So all the important assets are already in the project. Let's just open up another map so we can play with this a little. What are these maps for? This is, by the way, the Unreal Engine VR template. You're probably already familiar with it. I selected this for 2 illustrator points. You'll see in a second. So let's just, I don't know, grab the door. So there is the door. Let's just grab it and plug it in here. Of course it's compiling now, but don't worry about that. I just turn it around so we're facing the front. And let's also take the pawn, which is the two hands VR character, and place it into the level. Let's place it in here so we don't have to walk a lot. And you might think, okay, let's just, you might be tempted to just give this a try and see what happens. So let's try this. So yeah, first what you'll see, I'm just having tracking problems, what you'll see that it's working, that you have hands, and you might think, okay, that it was done. But essentially what's happening is that this is the pawn by the Unreal Engine VR template. That's why you can actually teleport, which is not included in my pack at the moment. Essentially, you need to tell Unreal which one is the player character, so that it can start up on play. That is done in the game mode. And we haven't done this, so that's the second step. Now it's a good time to take a look at the project settings here. Under maps and modes, you'll find this is your default game mode. You need to set this up. You need to link the game framework with the game mode, and the game mode will tell downstream which one is the player pawn and the controller and etc. And if we check this here, you'll see that this is not the case. Game mode base. Oh, game mode base, find it. Oh, maybe because it's an engine content. Anyway, you need to set this up essentially. So we are the game mode. That's the second step. And this is also the other VR pawn. So it's important to note that there is already another pawn in the level. You can just delete that and take the other one included in realistic VR doors, yeah. Which is the two hands VR character. But we're not done yet. It may be that various instances of the same class are placed in the level. You need to tell Unreal which pawn to possess. And also, depending on if it's a new project or if you already made some changes, you need to check the world settings if there is a game mode override, because this overrides anything that you set in the project settings. So if there's another game mode that says use another class, then it's not going to work. So make sure this is set to none. And the final step is, and this is just a matter of preference. I like to possess a pawn that is already placed on the level and not possess one that gets spawned dynamically. So you look for possess and then auto possess player 0 if this is a single player game or simulation. Otherwise you need some other logic to select which one. And now we'll be able to actually possess the right pawn on play. And now this is going to happen. You'll see that all of us that still I can use my hands, but all of a sudden I can't move anymore. I can't teleport, and that's because that's the third step that we need to take. We need to set up the inputs. The Unreal Engine VR pawn is using teleportation, and in the project, in the Unreal Engine VR template, the inputs are already set up under input in the project settings. Now the inputs needed for realistic VR doors pawn is not set up yet, and this is what we're going to do now. So these are the inputs. these are the Unreal Engine inputs. You see teleport, grab left and grab right. And there are some axis mappings, etc. And if we take a look at the inputs of realistic VR doors, you'll see that I am only using grab left and grab right, and I have move forward with a special convention, because this way we can also support the valve index, which relies on vector 2D for locomotion, and you need to supply it as two separate inputs. But this is another topic. The easiest way is just to export this out. Let me just I don't know. Let's just put this to the root. We'll see RVR input INI, and then go to the other one and import, and check what's going to happen. You see it overwrites, to be precise, your own settings. So a very good idea before you do that, and I might have should have done this the other way around. First, export your own settings out, and then import this, and then see how to merge. You can actually open these INI files and edit them. They're text files, and merge the two together. And now, if we give this a try, you'll see that it's working, and the snap turning is working. Let me just set up the door properly so we can reach the handle, make it two-sided, and let's just increase the maybe not that much. Let's give this 70, so we can actually reach the door handle. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, and you can see it's now working. And yeah, all these are the 3 steps. However, let me just move this so we can see better. However, if you're using the valve index, there is something to watch out for. That's I actually noticed this and talked to the guys from Valve when I created the when I updated the pack the last time. The SteamVR input plugin, which you use if you want to give support to finger tracking, has a nice nice engine plugin. And it used to be a separate plugin before Unreal Engine 4.23, I believe. But after that, it has the SteamVR input plugin became part of the SteamVR plugin, which is also needed for the headset, etc. And now, if you make a change in input settings, you need to regenerate the JSON files that come with the SteamVR input plugin, or SteamVR plugin as of now. And the button for this is hidden by default. But if you look for it and you say SteamVR, you can actually do all the actions here, or you can also click here, and then it's going to be, and then you need to click these in this order. First, regenerate action manifest, regenerate controller bindings, and reload action manifest, and then it's going to work. Otherwise, locomotion is not going to work, because it hasn't the JSON files haven't been updated. That happened to me 2 times already. So, and since I'm using a valve index, yeah, I needed to do this right now as well, and it's working. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm also working on other packs. Thanks a lot, and bye. See you soon.